So now we have created the predicted routes, and now we then actually would like to get some data from a backend service as well, right? So to do that, we would like to have some kind of, to make it simple, we will retrieve users from JSON placeholder typical.com, which is a free REST API, a dummy API, which you can use to fetch data. So the first thing we will do is to create a store where we can fetch this data and have some store where this is stored, and then create a view to visualize that. So the first thing we then do is to create store, right? So we go to stores, we create a new folder, and we create a user store. And here we create a new file called userstore.ts. But this also creates a lot of, we are using a lot of different data here, and we also would like to have models for them. So what we actually first will do is create a model.ts, where we will add all the interfaces for the different objects. Of course, we want to have this typed. So this is just the typing of the interfaces of this API, free API. So we can have interfaces for all the objects that are there. So now I have that one, and then I will actually cheat a little bit here as well, and copy this one, but I will describe what I'm doing here. So first we use import Axios to be able to do REST calls to the backend service. We fetch the user models from the models we just created that are for this JSON structure we received. And then we add observable from MobX, because we would like to have this list of users we fetch to be observable, and also the status when we fetch them. Of course, this is what we would like to view then in our views, to look at that. Now we are actually going to have some URLs, and these could actually differ based on if you are running in development and in production. So therefore we are actually retrieving the URL from the environment, and to do that we actually need to create a couple of files here in the root of the project. I'm going to create one which is called .env.development, and another one called .env. Just to show you how you can have potentially different URLs in different environments. For the development, we are actually going to use the same here, but we will, just for you to show that we can have these into the environment variables different depending on your running in development mode or in production mode. You could potentially have different URLs here, go to different places. So this is a simple way of adding those environment variables. And here we have React app user URL. It should start with React_app. This is actually what we're going to do here. So this is the URL we will retrieve from the environments. And the only thing we actually have here is a function, an asterisk function, because here we're actually calling to a real backend somewhere. We get the URL, we set the status to ongoing, fetch ongoing. We use Axios to get this URL, and when we have received the result, the data will be in response.data. So we get that and map it to a user array. The user is the types we created in user. And for each of these users, we add them to our model here. And when that is completed, we set it to fetch succeeded. And if we failed, so then if we catch, so if we failed, we just set the fetch fetches to fail. So nice. Now we have a store, and we have a model for that, so we can fetch data and we can observe if they are populated. But we obviously would like to have this into our injection part, so we will import this from stores, user store, right? And here we actually want to have the user store. So now we added this to our injection context, the user store. So now we can actually access it in our views, which is good. But obviously it will not come there by magic, so we actually need to go here and say that, yeah, something is missing, right? So we need to copy that out and inject it here as well. So we need to create user store. Oops. And so now we actually have the user store in our injection context as well, so it can be used from our views. So nice. Now we actually need to have a view for the user list as well, right? So we will just create a new folder here. We call it user list. Again, I will be pretty lazy here and actually just copy 3 classes here and describe what they're doing instead. So first we have the user list. It will we will inject the store. So and then we use the app store props here, and this is an observer for observing parameters. So in the constructor we get the props, of course we want it typed. We get the store, the user store here, and store that, and we will then use this store to fetch. So as soon as we open this list view, we will ask the store to fetch the users. So then it will start the asynchronous call into fetching users here. And then we will actually just have a toolbar and a user table, and we will just send all the props into these two views. So the user toolbar will just be a button back to the main page, so it will actually not do anything here. So we will actually this is actually how we want to do it. We will not use the app store props because we don't really care about anything. We are an observer, but we are not injecting anything here, so we will not get the store parts. But the only thing we will do here is to show a button more or less, and when that button is clicked, we will use the history, which are also in the props, because it's part of the React route. And we will push back to main. So when we push this, we will go back to the main page, and we will obviously bind this because we need to use the parameters of this class and bind to that one. Then we also have the actual user table itself, where we actually will display all the users. Here again, we inject the store because we need to have all the users. And we set those. We have these variables in this page, and we don't do anything specific here, but we will actually then here use the store part fetch users to see if we are ongoing. We will display the linear progress bar while we are fetching the data from the backend, and we will then add card content here with the different email, name, location, and phone to display those different parts. And for each thing we will display, we will loop through all the users. So for each user we will show one row, and for each user we will use that data, user, avatar, email, city, and so forth to do that. And we're actually using the users from the store here, so this is actually what this is just a more convenient way to write it, but the users we retrieve are from the observable users list in the store. So good. So this is nice, but we still need to be able to go there, so we will add a new route for users, and we will fetch user list and route that one if we are going to the path users. So let's see if that actually works, which it actually didn't, because you need to first stop your instance and then restart it again, because we added the environment variables and they are not populated by default when you're actually running, so you need to stop and then start it again, and then they will be functional. So now it should actually work if we go back to this page and refresh here. Then we see a little starter, and then we have all the users. So now we have the main page, and the login page, and the users page. And this should also be protected, of course, because we don't want anybody else to see that. So here we go. And then we should. So now we are actually have the possibility to fetch data from from the backend service and populate the list of them using the stores and MobX. Okay, so now we actually have an application with the 3 views. The login view, you can log in. You have your main page, and you have the user page. So now we will also actually just add 2 buttons on the main page, so we can go back and forth here as well, and so we also can log out to see how that works. We'll do that in the next video.